Hi, my name's Taylor.
And I'm Joanna, and we work on the education team at Kano. We work with schools to help bring computing and coding concepts to the classroom.
And we really bring lessons to life by making them fun and using hands-on exploration activities to really understand coding concepts.
Play and exploration are important for any classroom looking to bring coding in. When we think about play is characterized by intrinsic motivation, allowing kids to solve problems that they care about. In our increasingly digital world, coding is not just important from an employability perspective, it's important because it's magical. By learning to code, you can create art, or you can hack Minecraft, you can build a website, or make music. Another key characteristic of play is that we don't think about mistakes during play. If you're trying to solve a problem and you don't get to the answer quickly, or perhaps there's some trial and error involved, it's important that kids can work through those processes during play. Just as in coding, when a student doesn't get to the answer the first time, it's important that they feel comfortable making mistakes, and in the classroom to rebrand mistakes as a learning opportunity.
So play and exploration in the classroom really means student-driven work. So it's sort of less of the teacher being the master of the knowledge, but actually the students being the ones who are guiding their knowledge and guiding the learning process. So you might see students collaborating together, working together. You might hear them working together in partners, asking each other questions, and it's going to sound a little noisy because the students are kind of really being engaged and learning in their environment.
When I think about play and exploration in the classroom, I think about three main things: the culture of the classroom, the structure of the lesson, and the physical space itself. So in thinking about the culture in a classroom that's characterized by play and exploration, I think of a place that's open, safe for children to make mistakes, and a place where the teacher's role is one as a facilitator or to ask probing questions and get the best from the students who really own and drive their learning. When I think about the structure of a lesson, I think about a lesson that both allows for knowledge acquisition and understanding, as well as sharing and remixing what they've learned. So when applied to coding specifically, a student might code a picture in art, and they might follow the instructions and learn the key concepts, and then change the color, change the size, change the frame of the picture so that it's something that they care about while exploring. And then three, when thinking about the space, it's important that there are spaces for interaction between peers, spaces where kids can explore and try new things, again, depending on the project that you're working on that day. In the real world and in a real working environment, for example at Kano with our software engineers, exploration is really important. Some of the most creative things that have come to life have come through periods of exploration, whether that's new features or the best way to design a feature. Often there's not one right answer when it comes to coding, and the only way to get to the best approach is to explore and try new things.
So I think for a teacher to feel comfortable in a play and exploration environment, I would give a few tips. One of them is really actually set up a very well structured out roles and responsibilities for the students. So if you have students that are going to be on the Kanos or any sort of computing device, you want to be able to have roles and responsibilities for how they're going to be covering their learning, how they're going to be navigating that learning. So if you're on the Kanos, you might have a driver and a navigator, somebody who's actually using the keyboard. They're going to be the ones who are typing everything out. They're the driver of that learning. And then the navigator is the one that's actually telling them what to click on, how to set that structure up. And maybe if you have a third person, someone's actually taking notes, someone's actually recording the time that's being used and making sure that people are switching off on the learning, who's going to be the driver, who's going to be the navigator, who's going to be the timekeeper.
One of the best pieces of advice that I can give to a teacher who's looking to bring Kano to the classroom is to get your hands dirty and try building it and getting started yourself. So by going through some of the Kano challenges, building the computer, you'll start to understand the things that you want your students to learn, and then come up with questions that you can ask your students to guide the learning process. So we definitely recommend trying it out yourself, using some of the resources that we have available, and then even asking some of your students for help if there are places where you've gotten stuck and are then ready to bring the Kano to the classroom.